And I do believe we are officially live in TBI Talk. My name is Lynn. I am a TBI survivor, a severe traumatic brain injury survivor. And usually I live in the Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. Right now, I happen to find myself in Rochester, New York. So let me zoom out the window here, and I think you can see some of that snow out there. I am in Rochester, New York, working with my family here locally to help my mom, who is a stroke survivor. And as both TBIs and strokes, ABIs, acquired brain injuries, are somewhat knowledgeable for the family, for my sisters. Now, my younger sister, Lisa, lives right here in Rochester, and my older sister, Jennifer, lives in the same HOA as me. We're neighbors. So, and we both live in Florida. So, we're up here in New York doing our best to support our mother and all of her needs as a stroke survivor. One of the most interesting things to me that my sisters were saying is that my mom had full awareness of the car accident she was in when her stroke was happening. She had full awareness of her caregivers, like the people who were there immediately. There just happened to be a couple on the road behind her. One of them, like I think the husband and wife, they were both EMTs. So mom had an accident, and these people were at her side, and they helped get her out of her car and into into an ambulance. And it's bananas to me as a traumatic brain injury survivor, a severe traumatic brain injury survivor, that my mom has awareness and memory of what happened to her. And she shared that a little bit earlier today when we were talking with her in her room. And my sisters have also shared with me that mom was talking with them about things she remembered from that day. And my accident was in 2020, and I think I might have mentioned this before. I don't remember 2020. And I wasn't even aware that anything had happened to me until I was in my third stage of recovery in, let's say, in October of 2020. My accident was in July, and my first awareness that something was happening with me wasn't until October. So July, August, September, October, 4 months, my brain rewiring itself finally was able to understand. And they had to tell me. And one of the nurses, one of my caregivers, became very emotional telling me what had happened to me, which sort of kind of shaded a little bit maybe my perception of it. But that's when they told me, you got hit by a car, and no memory, no knowledge of it whatsoever. And the fact that my mom remembers her stroke and the accident and the flight, she remembers being helicoptered. And I am so grateful that she knows what is happening and what is going on. I'm so grateful. And as a it's just crazy to me to think how different my recovery would have been if I had been told regularly by people who loved me and interacted with me, because I was also being treated in 2020, the thick of that delight that was COVID-19. So my treatment was pretty much me in a room by myself, except for therapy or meetings or the different activities that were planned. But because COVID-19 was such like a big thing, I spent the better part of my full recovery alone and unaware of what had happened. And I think about my recovery, and I was in 3 different facilities. I was at a hospital, and then I was at Encompass, and then I went to neurorestorative. So I was at 3 facilities. I don't really have any memory of a facility until I was at neurorestorative in Georgia, months after my accident. So I was not able to enjoy the kind of family connection that my mom is. And that is something else that I am so grateful for. I may not have the resources or the abilities that I had before my accident. And I talked about that a little bit last week when it was just kind of weighing on me of what had happened. I might not have had the resources, but man, I have the desire to give. I just want to give to my mom and support my mom and to make sure that my mom knows the many celebrations that are such a big part of my own brain injury recovery. I was talking earlier that I didn't really start remembering things until November, October or November of 2020. And it's amazing to me that immediately after her acquired brain injury, mom is still remembering my neighbors' names of like neighbors that I had years and years ago. She is still remembering addresses and houses that I've lived in over the years. It is amazing to me that she has this kind of memory after her ABI. And I'm so grateful. All that goodness is still there. All her warmth and joy and kindness and friendliness and questions. She would ask so many, still asks so many questions. She's still there. And it's so powerful to be able to wrap your arms. I was able to wrap my arms around her and give her a kiss and tell her that I love her and I'm so proud of her and I'm so grateful for her. I am also very grateful for this amazing hard cider. I've tried this is the 1911 cranberry. When I lived here in Rochester, I was 1911 all day long. I'm so grateful for that for 1911. So, with that being said, I am grateful that my mom remembers everything. And I'm so grateful I get to be here with members of my family, with my older sister, and support her. And I know that my younger sister is here locally, and I'm sending her all the love and hugs that I can. I know that she is a little bit of an introvert, so she needs this time to recharge. And you have it. Thank you all so much for being here on TBI Talk. This has been so much fun, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Thank you again. And end stream. Good night. Thank you.